Hello, welcome back to Anando's Talks. I'm here back after a pretty long COVID break. Today, I have arrived with two topics, the Independence Day and Republic Day. So, without further intro, let's get into the video. So, what is Independence Day? Independence Day is celebrated on 15th August. It is done so to commemorate the time when India became independent in 1947. So, independence is a state where a country or nation becomes free from foreign intervention. It becomes sovereign. So, India got independence after the Indian Independence Act of 1947. It is passed by the UK Parliament and it received royal assent. And that's how our country became independent. And it is celebrated with great pomp. This day brings in us a feeling of nationalism. It is celebrated in Delhi also with great joy and enthusiasm. In Delhi, the Prime Minister hoists the national flag at the Lahore Gate in Red Fort and he addresses the nation on that day. On the eve of independence, the President of India addresses the nation. That is the procedure. The address of the Prime Minister is followed by a small march past, not a parade, it's just a march past by the armed forces. And that's how Independence Day is celebrated. And one more thing, it's a national holiday too, one of the three national holidays in India. So that is the Independence Day. Now, what is a Republic Day? The Republic nation is a nation which is governed by an elected representative, not a monarch or a dictator. That is how it is. So, when a country becomes republic, it means that most probably it is democratic. The nation has become democratic, not only sovereign but also democratic. Independence just means that it is sovereign, but it does not necessarily mean that the country is a democracy. So that's the difference between republic and an independent state. Now, India became a republic on 26 January 1950 when the Constitution of India came into effect. So, actually, there is an importance to this day, 26 January. We'll talk about that in the later part of the video. And now, the Constitution of India was, it was made or rather joined or created more precisely by a constitution drafting committee. It took more than 2 years to complete its task. So, the Constitution of India was passed by the Constituent Assembly, the assembly which had an interim government and which was the purpose of which was to create a constitution for India. That is the Constituent Assembly. So, the Constituent Assembly passed the constitution on 26 November 1949. Now a question arises. Why did the government wait till 26 January of the next year to bring the constitution into effect? The reason is, in the 1920s, the Indian National Congress declared Purna Swaraj and decided to celebrate 26 January as Independence Day every year. This was done to awaken the nationalism in each citizen and to force the British government out of our country. It continued till 1946 and after 15th August of 1947, the Independence Day fell on 15th August and the Republic Day on 26th January. So, to commemorate that Purna Swaraj event, the constitution was made into effect on 26 January of 1950. That is the importance of the date. Now, what is the importance of the date of independence, 15th August? Lord Mountbatten, the then Viceroy of India, chose this day because it was the day when Japan surrendered in the World War II. That is why this date was selected by Lord Mountbatten. Now, Republic Day is celebrated with a very great celebrations. At present, it is celebrated as a week-long festival because the celebrations start from 23rd January, that is the birth anniversary of Subhash Chandra Bose, and it ends at January 29th. On January 26th, the president unfurls the flag at Rajpath, and it is followed by a parade in which the president receives the salute. And that's how Republic Day is celebrated. On the eve of Republic Day, the president addresses the nation and releases the names of the Padma Award winners, the Padma Bhushan, Padma Shri and Padma Vibhushan, the three Padma Awards, the second, the third and the fourth highest civilian awards. And the Republic Day is parade is followed by the many table X's for showing the heritage of different states, and apart from the marching contingents of the armed forces. And usually children who receive bravery awards in the previous year accompanies the parade on decorated elephants or camels. This was started on 26 January of 1950, the first Republic Day India celebrated. But it's not the first Republic anniversary. It's just the first Republic Day independent India celebrated, because that was the day when India became a republic. And that time, the first President of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, received the salute. Now, that is the main difference between the Independence Day and the Republic Day. So, the Independence Day is celebrated to mark independence of India, and Republic Day is celebrated to commemorate the Constitution coming into effect. And one more thing, I told that the Republic Day is a week-long festival. Why is it so? It starts on 23rd January and ends at 29th. Why 29th? It's a long-standing tradition to end at 29th of January. In the evening of 29th January, at Vijay Chowk, a beating the retreat ceremony is held. In this ceremony, the musical bands of the different armed forces perform. And the president is also usually present at the beating the retreat ceremony also. It is the official conclusion of the Republic Day. This year, after the breathing the retreat ceremony, when night fell, there was a drone show as well. So that's how India celebrates these 2 days, and I personally like watching all the celebrations on Doordarshan TV channel and other channels. I just love those occasions. So till my next video, bye.